Today is October the 29th, and this is part 67 of our study of the ministry of Jesus. Well, we studied it yesterday about the triumphal entry, Jesus coming into Jerusalem down the Mount of Olives, riding on a donkey. Now today we want to look at what's known as the second cleansing of the temple. Now you remember at the beginning of Jesus' ministry, he cleansed the temple, went in and ran the people out that were doing business in the temple. So now he comes into the temple again, and this is at the end of his ministry. Goes in, and those that were money changers, remember that people brought from all over the country, brought Roman money in, but they had to exchange it for Jewish money to pay their temple tax. So they were set up money changers. And they set up not in the building the temple, but in the grounds of the temple. Then there were those that sold doves because they were used for sacrifice. So Jesus overturned the table of the money changers and ran the doves off. And it also says there were other people there doing business. What other kind of business, I don't know, but they were doing business of some kind. And Jesus ran them out. Now, a couple of things that we want to notice from that today. Jesus said, "It is written." So he is quoting, "It is written, my house shall be called a house of prayer." And he was quoting from the book of Isaiah, chapter 56, verse 7. And it says, "Even them will I bring to my holy mountain, and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted on my altar." Now here is what he said, the last part of the verse. "For my house shall be called an house of prayer for all people." My house shall be called a house of prayer from all people. So he was quoting from the book of Isaiah when he said that. All right, two things I wanted to notice from this today. Number one is here he cleansed the temple once, but it didn't stay clean. He had to do it again. How easy it is for us, if we're not careful, to slip back into doing the old things that we used to do that we shouldn't be doing. So we have to be careful every day to make sure that we're not slipping back into some of the old habits and the old ways that we used to have that Jesus cleansed, so they don't have to cleanse it again. And then he said, my house will be called a house of prayer. So I need to talk to you just a minute about praying. Prayer is nothing more or less. It is simply talking to God. That's all it is, just talking to God. Now, there are some things that should be, we'll talk to God about. Prayer should not just be, give me, and I want this and I want that and something else. That's not what praying's about. We ought to spend time worshiping God in prayer. We ought to spend time thanking God in prayer. So much to thank Him for. And spend time thanking Him. Then we ought to have a time of confession when we examine our lives and see what's in our lives that shouldn't be there, and confess it to the Lord and ask for His forgiveness. If we confess our sins, He's faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. So we need to confess our sins. And then we can pray for those things that other people need. It's called intercessory prayer. We intercede for other people. Personally, I have a whole list of people that have needs that I pray for every day. And I have to make a list because I can't remember them all in my mind. And so I go through my list every day. And by the way, this praying should be done daily, every day. And then last of all, we can pray and tell God what we need. Our supplementary prayer, we come saying, God, I need this and I need that. And God knows we need these things. So we need to come every day and pray. And during our prayer time, we need to give ourselves to the Lord that day and ask God to run our lives for us and trust Him. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Lean not to thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy paths. Well, our time's about up. So today, may I say, check your life, and if there's something crept back in your life that shouldn't be there, get rid of it. If you're not praying every day, then you need to pray every day, and you need to be in a mood of prayer all the time. So let's learn these two things from Jesus cleansing the temple and saying that His house would be called a house of prayer for all people. So that's it for today. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you again in the morning.